so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, that was embarrassing. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, the Lakers just got ran out the gym, got just destroyed, mollywopped, whatever you want to call it. Bradley Beal just torched the Lakers. I mean, torched them. He was lights out. Austin Reaves just getting abused out there on the defensive side of things. And I mean, once again, no one else really scores. Again, I don't know. It's just it's a trend, right? Like, I mean, how many times can you say the same thing? How many times can you say like, oh well, Lakers have just been bad. It is what it is. There's hope, that at some point turn around, trade deadline, right? Maybe they make some moves. News about DeJounte Murray today. So that would be nice if we get like a Murray or something. But outside of that, it's just, guys don't show up. Guys don't have energy. Guys don't have effort. The defense isn't there. No one can score on a consistent basis, right? It's just the Suns, we've beaten them 3 straight times. You knew that this was going to be something where they were going to come out and they were going to want to do the things. They were going to want to seek their revenge. They were going to want to, come out and give it 100%, right? Last thing they wanted to do was lose this game. The Lakers leapfrog them in the standings. We're 4-0 against them. Like, that's the last thing that the Phoenix Suns or anybody wants, right? One team showed up to play, one team didn't. One team was bad, one team wasn't. But yeah, anyway, couple things that I want to touch on here. But before, let's jump into the box scores, kind of let everyone trickle in. And then a couple points that I want to make on Austin Reaves, a couple points I want to make Max Christie, Mays. I want to talk about Mays briefly. And then, of course, we'll jump into all your super chats and all your regular questions and stuff like that. But real quick, let's dive into the box scores for the Lakers. So, also, quick little note. I'm sure somebody's going to ask this later. But for those that are here now, Christian Wood, he was out with a migraine, right? Because that was a big thing. I saw a bunch of comments from people that were like, hey, I'm going to trust Christian Wood is out. Yeah, he was. So he ended up having a migraine. So he ended up missing the game. Not that I think he would have made a difference or anything, but regardless, let's dive into the box scores and then we'll touch on everything else. LeBron James had a whopping 10 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. Only played 24 minutes. That's good. Get a little rest. 0-4 from 3. But I mean, this is probably his worst game of the season. Anthony Davis, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Again, I mean, no one really showed up. Who played today? Our leading scorer was D'Angelo Russell, who he played well. He showed up today, even after that little knee bang scare. He was fantastic. Which I want to touch on him here in a moment, but Max Christie, the other guy I want to touch on, 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 points. Jackson Hayes, just lob threat. He had as many fouls as he did minutes, which is pretty crazy. Skyler Mays looked wonderful, right? He looked very good for the Lakers. He had as many points as he did minutes. 5 of 6 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 steal in that time. Was our highest plus at +9. But yeah, again, outside of that, it just Windler hit a 3, which is good too. Talk about that. But Reaves was, he had an okay game, I guess. He hit a couple threes, which is good. Hopefully his 3-point shot starts coming around. 13 points, 6 assists, 1 steal in 30 minutes. Taurean Prince, like I said, he's basically a lock for 3 to 4 threes a game. I mean, that's exactly what he did. He was 38% from 3-point range, 40% from the field, 11 points. But just an overall, just poor display of basketball by the Lakers. I mean, that's what it was. It was a terrible display by the Lakers. Lakers just aren't very good. But couple things. So one, the first Well, let's talk about Mays first. Let's talk about Mays first, and then we'll jump into my rants about D'Lo or about Reaves and Max Christie and stuff like that. Mays in 12 minutes looked like the best player the Lakers had tonight. I mean, he was good. I mean, if he could provide that for the Lakers on a regular basis, that'd be huge. Because any trade that the Lakers make is going to likely extend to D'Angelo Russell, Gabe Vincent, guys like that. So it's like, who can be our secondary playmaker? Who could be another just guard off the bench? Skyler Mays was really good. I mean, he looked good. He looked comfortable, right? His shot looked fluid. He was going after it on the defensive end. He's a little slow still, like in the mold of like a D'Lo and a Reeves, but in a backup limited role, if he can just be solid, right? That's all we really need is just, can he come in and be a key contributor in the rotation post trades? Then cool, perfect, right? But yeah, I mean, look, he's not a guy that I'm expecting to come in and change the tides for the Lakers or anything like that. But I could see him being a real rotation piece at some point. I mean, I'm okay with giving Mays just the Max Christie rotation, right? And so let's dive into Max Christie, right? A lot of people are always talking about, why do you always say, like, you're okay with Max Christie not getting minutes, or you're okay with him limited minutes, right? We need Max Christie to play more. We need Max Christie to this. We need Max Christie to that. Because he's a 20-year-old kid that just gets destroyed more times than, like, yes, does he have nice moments here and there? Sure. But he's a 20-year-old kid that makes mistakes, gets abused on the defensive side. He's a guy that, it just, if you want to play him in a limited, like 10-minute a game role, sure. Every time he plays like 10 minutes, he's okay. He's good. He's good enough in small doses. Anytime he gets more than like 10, 12 minutes, he gets abused. He tries to do too much, right? He starts just taking careless shots or trying to force the issue to get his stats up because he's a 20-year-old kid. He's a kid that's just excited to be out there and wants to prove himself. But the Lakers aren't a team that is in a position to let him go through his lumps. Max Christie, if he was on, if the Lakers were a rebuilding team, sure, let Max Christie go get 30 minutes and, have his good moments and his bad moments and all that stuff. I'm okay with that. But we're a team that's trying to win games, and you got Max Christie playing 30 minutes, and it's just like he's just getting abused, getting torched. So I'm okay if they want to put Skyler Mays and give him some burn, give him some run, see what he looks like in the minutes for Max Christie. I'd be okay with that. Another thing, Austin Reaves. Right? So I have made a big argument. And look, I want to start by saying that I fully believe that the Lakers are going to trade D'Angelo Russell, right? I don't think that they're going to keep D'Lo, but I will say teams are targeting one guy on this team. And so many people talk about D'Lo's defense being terrible and D'Lo's trash and D'Lo's this. D'Lo isn't the guy getting targeted game in and game out by variable teams or various teams. And look, I love AR. But if we can get a clear upgrade, AR should be gone. AR should not be untouchable. I've made arguments for why the Lakers should keep D'Lo over Austin Reaves, right? Again, I don't necessarily think that'll happen. But Austin Reaves, it's just he's a liability out there on the defensive side. He's better coming off the bench as a six-man. Talked about this. Even when people moved him into the starting lineup, people were like, oh, see, look, you need to start him, Bubba. And I was over here preaching, no, keep him on the bench. I don't care. Keep him on the bench because he gives you the same production regardless, right? And if we make a trade to close games, like even if you get Levine or not Levine, Murray, right? Let's say the Lakers trade Murray. Like are you really closing with Austin Reaves? Right? Like, are you really going to go with those two? Because isn't Murray supposed to be the third guy? So now you're neutralizing Reaves. So now he's not going to be as impactful on the offensive side. He's not going to be looked at as the go-to closer down the stretch because you've got other pieces to do that. And then all he's going to be is a liability on the defensive side. So are you actually going to be able to close with Austin Reaves? And then if you get Zach LaVine, I definitely don't think you can close with Austin Reaves. So you're not going to be able to close with Austin Reaves, right? D'Lo is the better playmaker. D'Lo has been the better shooter. D'Lo has been by far the better defensive player. I mean, D'Lo's been our third best defensive guy by efficiency. Austin Reaves is a net negative this year. He's a -7 for the Lakers. Lakers are 7 points worse when Austin Reaves is on the court on a regular basis. It's just, again, like, look, I'm not saying you trade Austin Reaves just to trade Austin Reaves. I'm not saying you do a lateral movement or anything. But, like, I see all these reports of, like, oh, Lakers, you know, they're looking at Reaves as untradeable, untouchable. They're telling teams that should not be the – now, could it be a leverage play, right? Like, hey, man, we're not trading Reaves. We don't want to trade Reaves. We have no reason to trade Reaves, blah, 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 blah. So that way maybe you can kind of up the price. Right? Maybe you get a team like the Hawks that go, well, we really want Reaves. So, like, what will it take? And it's like, well, you know, we want another first, or we want a first, or we want, you know, whatever. Right? We want Clint Capella and Bey, Sadiq Bey, or something like that. Whoever the Lakers trade for, doesn't matter who it is. Pick your favorite. If the Lakers get that third guy, Austin Reaves becomes neutralized. What's the point of having Austin Reaves then at that point? Right? Because he's been very inconsistent this year. And I like Austin Reaves. I think Austin Reaves in the right situation could thrive. I just don't think he's that. But you're no longer going to be able to close with Austin Reaves as you go get that third guy because he's not going to produce the offense to offset the poor defense. Right? I mean, you can make an argument he's not doing that now. Again, the Lakers are 7 points better when he's off the floor. Right? I love Reaves, but it's just the reality is the reality. It is what it is. You know? Like, and the Lakers, if the Lakers, Austin Reaves long-term makes sense, right? If we were a team that was looking to rebuild, sure. Keep Austin Reaves, trade everybody else that you can, whatever. But we're not. We're a team that's trying to win right now. So if we're a team that's trying to win right now, no one should be untradeable if you can upgrade this roster and make this roster better, right? Again, so many people tell me on a regular basis, I don't know what I'm talking about. And why would I want to keep D'Lo over Reaves? But the numbers, the eye to everything is showing one of us is right. And I also don't think people are looking at what happens when we do make a trade, right? I'm not saying you have to keep D'Lo. Go ahead, trade D'Lo. And I do believe that they're going to trade D'Lo. Trade everybody at this point. I could care less. It's not like we have this great team that's just killing it and guys are torching or whatever. But, you know, trade whoever you can. I don't care, right? If you got to trade Reaves, you got to trade D'Lo, trade Rui, trade whomever. I don't care, right? If you can get somebody that makes this roster better and you can get an upgrade. Again, you don't just trade guys to trade guys. Like, you're not trading Austin Reaves for, like, Sadiq Bey or something like that. But, like, if you can do a Zach LaVine trade and convince them to give you Alex Caruso for Austin Reaves, you do that. If you can do an Atlanta Hawks trade and get Murray and convince them to give you, like, Clint Capella and Sadiq Bey, you do that. Like, whatever it is, you know, I've made the arguments both ways because I think you need to look at all sides. I think you need to look at the picture, right? Everyone looks at, like, D'Lo being gone. Well, what are the pros and cons of trading Reaves, right? And right now, the pros heavily outweigh the cons of trading Austin Reaves. So I don't know. I'm in right now I'm in the camp of trade Austin Reaves. Like, right now I am in the camp of keep D'Lo and trade Austin Reaves. Right? If you get Murray, then it doesn't make sense to keep D'Lo. But like if you get like Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso or whatever, especially if D'Lo's okay with coming off the bench, the main argument for trading D'Lo regardless though is he might leave in the offseason. Right? If he opts out, then you basically lose him for nothing. So I think there is a real argument to trade D'Lo regardless, right? Especially if Mays can kind of come in and like fill that like bench playmaking role, right? In spots. Again, you're not asking him to play heavy minutes. Probably gonna have LeBron, whomever, right? If you get a Zach LaVine, then you can have LaVine, kind of play make and initiate. I mean, the guy just had a 7-assist game the other day. But that's kind of my logic with that. Is I don't know, like if you get Murray, you have to trade D'Lo regardless, right? Because at that point, you got your other playmaker, you got your main guy, play alongside LeBron. I mean, you could have D'Lo play off ball, but I think I'd rather try to use D'Lo to go get even like a Royce O'Neal or something like that, right? Just to get like another 3-and-D guy or get somebody that's a better fit. But if you go trade for Zach LaVine, if you can convince, like, hey, we'll trade you Reaves if you give us Caruso and Andre Drummond, I would do that all day, right? I would go ahead. Here's Reaves. Here's whatever. Trade whatever you have to. I don't know, but we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, let's enough of my rant. I've been going on too long. Let's jump into all of your super chat questions and all of your regular questions and stuff like that. Let's jump into the chat here. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Also, real quick, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You guys know the drill. I greatly appreciate it. Take a second, do those two things. Let's get into it. This Lakers team, terrible. It's terrible. LaVine season is near. I really do hope so. We're almost there. We're 4 days away? Blame the jerseys. We are 0-6 wearing purple this season. I always think it's fun. Like those kind of stats, I think are always a little funny. Like I've like mentioned stats like that before. Not like I don't look into it too heavily, but I do always think it's funny. Like, like you look at the bubble year, like the Lakers were undefeated in the Mamba jerseys until like the Danny Green miss. It's weird how like little things like that work. I've always found those things funny. Why can't us Laker fans have anything good this season? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. It's frustrating, believe me. I mean, cool. The Suns played better and we played like trash. Doesn't change my opinion on Phoenix. So, look, I still think Phoenix is not a very good team. I mean, look at the fourth quarter again, right? If that was like a 15-point game, the Lakers probably win this game. Like seriously, right? Like I'm not worried about Phoenix. Lakers starters 47, Suns starters 100 points. Yeah, I mean when AD and LeBron combine for 23 points, it's usually not a good sign you're going to win. This has got to change. Agreed. AR is a liability. He's not a good fit in the starting lineup. Can't play make. Look, I've preached it. I've said it. I don't think Austin Reaves should be starting. I know a lot of people were screaming for Austin Reaves to start when Darvin Ham was changing the lineups and stuff. I was one of the few people saying, no, keep him on the bench. Because, again, he gives you the same production regardless. It's about the minutes he plays, right? But, and like right now, like I get, like you have to close with him. I get it. Because, like, it's not like the Lakers have a bunch of options right now to close with. But I don't know. I mean, he's just been just such a liability. It's been rough, but we are not a good basketball team right now. Yes, that's a very nice way to put it. We are not a good basketball team at all. Get this bum Reaves off the team. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, I don't think he's a bum, right? I understand the frustration, and I know you're just speaking generally, but I don't understand the logic of the Lakers making him untouchable. Now, again, that could be a negotiation tactic, right? Austin Reaves is the guy that has value. You don't want to move him. He's the guy that's untouchable. You drive up the price or you drop down the price, right? Like, let's say Murray, they're like, well, we want 2 firsts or we want a first and a pick swap or whatever just for Murray. But if you give us Reaves, then we'll only take 1 first. It's like, we don't want to give you any first, right? And it's like, okay, well, like the negotiation tactics, right? Could it just be to try to be a leverage play for the Lakers? Absolutely. But if it really is like we're keeping Reaves at all costs, right? He hasn't been good enough this year. He just hasn't, right? And look, I'm not big on DeJounte Murray. I have talked about this. I'm concerned about his fit, right? He's not good off the ball, which playing alongside LeBron James, he's going to play a lot off the ball. He's not a good 3-point shooter. I know he's shooting 38% this season, but he is basically every year besides this season been 34%. And we all know how it goes when guys come to the Lakers and forget how to shoot. So what's more likely, that he's going to continue to be 38% from three, or he's going to drop to 34% again? Another thing is defense, right? D'Lo has been 6 points better defensively than Murray's been, right? Like things like that. Like there are concerns that I have with Murray. I'm not big on Murray, but Murray's an upgrade over Reaves. And if you can convince Atlanta to throw in other stuff, if you can get like a Murray, Capella, and like Sadiq Bey or a Hunter or a, Bogdanovich or something like that, right? And you have to give up Reaves, then to me that'd be kind of hard not to say yes to. But I'm still Team Levine personally. I really am. Give playtime to Windler and Mays. Yeah, they look good, especially Mays. Mays looked really good. Really good. Lewis coming out with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I would rather keep D'Lo and trade Austin Reaves because his defense looks. Look, I've made the argument. I have talked about it. And I mean, look, Austin Reaves just keeps showing it. Look, again, if we were a rebuilding team and we were a team that was looking for the future, not right now, then fine, keep Austin Reaves. Because long-term, he does make sense. But if we're a team that's serious about turning this season around and trying to go win a championship, even if it's not this year, even if it's just like, hey, we need to get the best pieces possible that make sense, that we can use this season to grow and then jump into next season, then I think you got to trade Reaves. He just hasn't been the same guy. He's been a net negative all season long. Again, Lakers are 7 points better when he's off the floor because his offense isn't offsetting his poor defense. Teams are targeting him, right? He's not a good playmaker. Again, he can find the open man. He can find, those things. But if you trade D'Lo, who's your secondary playmaker? D'Lo's like top 5 or something like that, and like assists or top 10 or whatever in assists. He's also has like some of the best metrics of all point guards in the league this year. Like he's like top 5 in like everything. Like when he actually gets, and he's like not even 50-50 playing point guard. He's more times than not playing off the ball. One of the best plays in all of basketball is the D'Lo Anthony Davis pick and roll. And he's been the better defensive guy. He's been our like third best defender. Yeah, I think our third best defender behind Cam Reddish and Anthony Davis. Pretty sure something like that. Third or fourth best defensive player on the team this year. It's just, again, I'm with it. I just think, again, you're not just trading Reaves, just trade Reaves. But if the move is there, if you're trading for Murray, then I think you need to get off of D'Lo, right? Because at that point, right, I just think now you have your secondary playmaker. But if you're trading for Zach LaVine or something like that, you can make it work to keep D'Lo. I would rather keep D'Lo. I don't know how well that would work, but yeah. Andrew coming out $2 super chat. LaVine season. Get Caruso and Drummond 2, AR, D'Lo. I am totally okay with that. Look, I've talked about it. If you can convince Chicago to give you Alex Caruso, if you include AR, I think you do that. Because again, as I mentioned earlier, how do you close with Austin Reaves if you go get a Zach LaVine? Or even if you get a DeJounte Murray, how do you close with Austin Reaves? Right? Right now, Austin Reaves closes because we don't have a better option. But if you get that guy, right, now Austin Reaves just becomes a terrible defensive player that is now going to average like 10 points a game. Right? Like, it's not worth it. At that point, you're better off going with like a Torian Prince, because at least he provides off-ball three-point shooting. And Austin Reaves has been terrible shooting the three ball. But if you can turn Reaves into like, an Alex Caruso or like a Dorian Finney-Smith or something like that, now my ears kind of perk up. Now I'm kind of like, wait a minute, like that could work because you could close with those guys. Your starting 5 could be LaVine, Caruso, Vanderbilt, LeBron, and AD. And you can get away with playing Vanderbilt next to Caruso because Caruso's shooting like 44% from 3. Right? So you'd have Caruso, point of attack defensive, can guard the best guard on the other team. Jared Vanderbilt can guard the best player on the other team. And then you'd have a guy in Zach LaVine who's been better than the league average his entire career defensively. He's also had some years where he's been very good defensively. We just need him to be average. Can he just be can't be worse than Austin Reaves has been. Like, he just can't. Austin Reaves has been terrible, right? So, I mean, you give me that, I trust that better. I'd rather have that happen. Andrew coming out with another $2 super chat. Trade AR, D'Lo, Rui, Gabe, Hayes, JHS, go all in. Yeah, at this point, trade everybody. I get it. Again, if you can find the right trades, you can find the right moves. Even if it's just getting a piece from here, like, you get a Dorian Finney-Smith, you get a DeJounte Murray, you get a, whatever, some center, right? Like Valanciunas or whatever, right? I'm all for it. Make that happen. Waja coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I still want to keep Reaves and D'Lo, even if Reaves is 2022 Carmelo Anthony, because at least he has a winning mentality. Yeah, but it's not translating to winning. Like, how do you really have a winning mentality if you're not winning any games? I mean, like, look, I love Austin Reaves as a player, but we are worse with him on the court than we are without. Like, so, I mean, he's not impacting winning. Like, if Austin Reaves was coming in and he was, and he was like clearly our third best player and was just dominating and cooking and, and he wasn't like this, even if he was just like better offensively this year, and even if he was just as bad defensively as he's been, but he was better offensively to kind of offset that, then I'd probably feel differently. But the problem is he hasn't been very good offensively, and he's shooting 34% from three this season. So he hasn't been a good off-ball shooter. He hasn't been that good offensively. He's had his games, he's had his moments, he's had his stretches, right? But on top of that, you add the bad offense or the inconsistent offense. Let's say inconsistent offense. You add the inconsistent offense to the terrible defense, which has been consistent. It's not like some games he's good defensively and he's just having a bad defensive stretch. No, the one thing he's been consistent at all season is a terrible defensive player, which is crazy because he wasn't this bad last year. But teams are going out of their way to target him, and that's not going to change. As long as he is on the court, teams are going to do that. Even if let's say we don't trade Austin Reaves and we keep Austin Reaves, as soon as he gets in the game, teams are going, yeah, let's go, right? Teams are happy to see him come on the court. They're not doing that for D'Lo. They have talked about it. Like, teams aren't targeting D'Lo. D'Lo's on the court all the time without Austin Reaves. And teams aren't going after D'Lo. They're going after Max Christie. They're going after Austin Reaves. They're going after, other guys. So, I see so many people that are like, oh, D'Lo isn't a good defender. And I'm like, well, the eye test shows that he is. The metrics show that he is. All the stats, everything. The rating says that he is. Right? I'm not saying he's elite. I'm not saying he's locked down. I'm not saying sign him up for all defensive team, but he's been good. Right? He's been holding his own, and he hasn't been -7 on the season. Right? So I don't know. I get it. Some people love Reaves. I love Reaves. But I love the Lakers winning basketball games and contending for championships more. And if you have to trade Austin Reaves to make that happen, trade Austin Reaves to make that happen. I could care less. Right? I love Austin Reaves. I want to see him have success. I do. I really do. I like Austin Reaves. I wanted him to be in purple and gold forever. But we're not in a position that or trade everybody and rebuild. Take a pick. But Reaves should not be untouchable. But I appreciate you. Thank you, William. This team never fails to take one step forward, then 2 steps backwards. But hey, Skyler Mays looked amazing. Yeah, Skyler Mays looked really good. If he can continue that in limited minutes, right, as a role guy off the bench, that'd be fantastic. Like I said, give him Max Christie's minute. Totally okay with it. Yeah, Phoenix trash still. Yeah, I still don't trust Phoenix. We never beat a full season Phoenix team. First time the Lakers play the Suns, big three, and they get crushed. Yeah, you knew that was coming. I saw John Wall sitting in the crowd. The Lakers better do something quick. I feel bad for AD and deserves better, man. I feel bad for AD too. I stay away from John Wall, though. He's worse than Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook was a disaster. I don't see John Wall being better. Look, I like what I saw from Mays. Keep Skyler Mays out there. Keep him pushing. Let him have the opportunity. We are probably the laziest team ever in NBA history. You're not wrong. Can't do it till the 15th. Look, I think if the Lakers could have already made a trade, they would have. But nothing's going to happen till early as the 15th. Max Christie does not know how to pass the ball, man. It's frustrating to watch play yet. He's a 20-year-old kid. He wants to prove himself. He wants to go out there. He wants to show, like, hey, I can be this, I can be that, That's why people said, like, oh, why don't you want Christie to play more minutes? Why aren't you campaigning for Christie to play more minutes? Why are you saying the opposite? This game is a great example of why. This game happens more to him than it does otherwise. I'm so sad this team is bad in trades. Yeah, got to make some trades. Skyler Mays looked really nice, and hopefully he could be a key role player for next year, or maybe even this season. You never know. I mean, look, again, if you're trading D'Lo, whether you trade Reaves or not, right? If you trade D'Lo, you're going to need another secondary playmaker, somebody that can play on the ball, somebody to play off the ball. And Mays looked like a guy that could do both. He was very solid. Hayes is so garbage. Waive him, please. I mean, the problem is that he was never supposed to be our primary guy. Like, I even talked about this when we signed him. I was like, oh, hey, I really like the Hayes signing as a development big, as a big man that you can grow and develop and have for a couple years, give him some spot minutes, right? He's fine in spot minutes. Like, if you just played him, like 8 minutes a game, right? And you just had him as a lob threat, as a floor running big man. He's actually a good defender in the pick and roll. Problem is he doesn't have the discipline to be a good defender, right? So you can't keep him on the court because he's gambling more times than not, right? But if you were just to throw him out there for an 8-minute stint and just kind of run the floor, then I think you can get away with him a little bit. But anytime he plays more than 10 minutes, he's a liability. That was just lazy EFX. They did play with urgency. Like I said, one team showed up, one team didn't. LeBron's in-between game in the half court is amateur level. He has no bag. I mean, he's never really been Kyrie. Skyler Mays looked really good. I hope he gets more playing time. I do too. I genuinely do. I really hope he does too. Lakers did play Chill. Yeah, he did. He got that steal. He was cooking. I'm Mays the GOAT. Windler the GOAT. They didn't want this game. Yeah, one team wanted this game, one team didn't. Man, they really did. Tyler, I swear, Rob Pelinka and Genie Bus treat Austin Reaves like he's the golden child of the team. That's what I'm saying. Again, I don't, maybe, because again, we don't know what is going on in Rob Pelinka's mental, right? We only know what the reports say and stuff like that. It is very possible that it's just a negotiation tactic, right? You overvalue your guy. It's the only guy that everyone wants. Everyone wants to get Austin Reaves off the Lakers. Everyone wants to get Austin Reaves. That's the real prize, right? So what do? Right? You basically sell as high as possible, right? So maybe it is one of those tactics. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe they will trade Reaves. Again, I don't want them just to trade Reaves I don't want a lateral movement type trade. But if Reaves is holding up a Levine trade, get rid of him, right? Whatever. It's just he hasn't been good enough to justify treating him like he's LeBron James. At this point, I don't know who to trade anymore. I still think Levine. I still think you go after Levine. Levine impacts so many different things. Not just that, but never underestimate the value of new energy, right? You saw it last season. And, you have all these struggles. Guys are frustrated. The locker room's a mess, right? Coaching questions. It's just chaos, right? Everyone's just upset. It impacts the play. But then all of a sudden you get 1, 2, 3 guys coming in that weren't a part of the BS, that didn't hear all the noise, that aren't frustrated. Instead, they are excited and they're happy and they're like, yes, I'm in a new environment. I get to play for the Lakers, right? Man, I get to play alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And you get these people that come in that are energized and the energy shifts and the energy changes and everyone just feels like, hey, and then all of a sudden games start and those guys are going 110% because they haven't been dealing with the mess. They haven't basically given up on the season. They haven't anything. They want to, let's go, let's get it, right? You saw it last year. Lakers were an absolute dumpster fire. We go and make a trade and boom, the Lakers are off to the races. And you had all these guys that came in and they looked great. They played great. I mean, even Beasley looked good in the beginning. He just eventually kind of crashed. But, then all of a sudden, like, you start rattling off some wins and you start feeling good. And then the momentum changes. And then all of a sudden, the fan base changes. People are, oh, we're on a 5-game win streak. So now, boom, the energy in the crowds, the energy in the media, the energy in everything changes. Like, don't underestimate the value of getting a guy or two or several coming in and just completely changing the game, especially if you get somebody like a Zach LaVine who would be such a big impact player, right? Like if the Lakers just went and traded for, like Sadiq Bey, just using him as an example, right? Like let's say the Lakers just traded for him. Then no, I don't think it's going to offset anything. I don't think it changes anything. But if you trade, even if you don't trade for like a LaVine or Murray, but like let's say you traded for a Sadiq Bey and you traded for Dorian Finney-Smith and you traded for an Andre Drummond and you traded for, and now you got 4 new guys coming in that are all going to be part of the rotation. That's 4 guys that are no longer a part of the rotation. So now you have 4 guys that are bringing energy and effort and excitement and rejuvenation and all that stuff. Or if you get that real impact guy, like I said, a Zach LaVine who can come in and by himself change the landscape, well, then now it's like, okay. So again, don't underestimate the power of a trade. I see a lot of people that are like, like there's nothing that can fix this. Like a trade won't fix this. Don't be surprised, right? Again, it has to be the right type of trades. It has to be the right type of move. Again, if you just go get an average role player to add to the bench and that's it, right? Then no, it's not going to do anything, right? Like great example last season, right? Lakers added Rui, didn't really change much, right? But you add D'Lo, you add Beasley, you add Vincent, you add Mo, you add all these guys. The entire dynamic shifted. Everything changed. Everything flipped. Austin Reaves, and his emergence helped, right? But you had these guys that just they weren't dealing with all the noise. They didn't hear all the nonsense. And they made that change. And the Lakers are really good. And they got to the conference finals. So the problem is we are asking Austin to be something he isn't. The game turned because he kept kicking the damn ball out instead of attacking. He has been a problem all year. Yeah. I mean, the thing is like we need him. He's operating as the third option, but he's not a third option, right? Like he's an excellent player. Like as a 6th man on like if this team was functioning properly, Austin Reaves in that 6-man role would be fantastic, right? Austin Reaves as like your 4th guy has potential to be fantastic, right? Because he just hasn't been the guy he was last year, right? The Austin Reaves we saw in the playoffs and, when LeBron went down, that Austin Reaves, you can make an argument, was the third guy, right? Because he was shooting 40+%. He was torching teams. He was making plays. He was playing defense. He wasn't a complete defensive liability, all of those things, right? But all of it's changed, right? He's on the scouting report now. Teams are prepared for him. Teams know his moves and have his understanding. I mean, it's one of the things I talked about in the offseason. I just thought Austin Reaves would be able to make the adjustments and changes. I overestimated Austin Reaves, right? So that was where my problem lied, right? I thought Austin Reaves was going to be better. I thought his 3-point shot was still going to be there. I thought that, he would have a little struggle, right? Even like if you go back and look at live streams and videos and stuff, right? When Reaves was struggling early, I was defending him. I was talking about like, hey, I said that this might happen, right? Because he's got to make that adjustment. There's going to be that adjustment period. It just hasn't happened. Now we're, 39 games in and he's been the same guy all season. It's It's like, how many more games do we need to just go, okay, he is who he is, right? I mean, at this point, he's had almost as many games this way as he did last season, playing great, so everything changes when you're on the scouting report. I feel like my head is going to explode. I feel it. Mays looking better than D'Lo and Reaves out there. I mean, D'Lo's pretty good, but the problem is D'Lo's just not utilized. Like, he's a point guard that doesn't get to play point guard. That's why I don't like the idea of DeJounte Murray. Because DeJounte Murray is a point guard, and I don't think he's going to get to play point guard. And D'Lo is just a better off-ball shooter. But Mays did look very good. Let's see. Austin got paid what he is, and then we asked him to do something that he is not. He is a ball-to-wall player, not a point guard. Yeah. Problem is he wants to play point guard. Lakers are trying to allow him to play it, and it's just completely ruined everything. Let's see. We should start Skyler Mays. I don't know about start Skyler Mays, but I definitely want to see him get into the rotation. Doing it for Jay's proposals. Rui D'Lo and a first for Dorian Finney-Smith. Royce O'Neal and Lonnie Walker. I don't think Lonnie Walker ever sees the floor. Reaves and Rui for Boggy and DeJounte, Rui, D'Lo, Gabe, and a first for Levine, AC, and Drummond. I've talked about it. I love Dorian Finney-Smith and Royce O'Neal. I think that would be a solid move. I'd like a more impact guy, but if you had to get those guys and a couple other pieces, I'd be okay with that. Reaves and Rui for Bogey and DeJounte. I don't hate that. I don't, but you're probably gonna have to give up Reaves to get both of those. Oh, you did say Reaves. Never mind. Reaves and Rui. Sorry, I was thinking D'Lo. Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. I still think Levine, AC, and Drummond are the best option, right? If you can go get Levine, AC, and Drummond, I think you're off to the races. You would be stacked at that point. Austin passing up easy shots and opportunity to draw fouls, early to kick the ball out, and guys who could not hit shots where the game turned. It has been happening all damn year. Yeah, because he has no faith in his shot. Tyler, this is a terrible game by our Lakers in general, EFX. I really want to make the playoffs in tournament, but the Lakers team is driving me nuts. Yeah, believe me, I feel it. They have not been a very good basketball team at all. Mays and D'Lo would. Oh, solid. Mays and D'Lo, solid. Yeah, they both were very solid. Man, this team is so inconsistent. Facts. I've always been in Austin, but if we are going to use him correctly, I say trade him instead of D'Lo because nobody can get more for him. Exactly. My point exactly. Austin Reaves is unfortunately getting traded. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm okay with it, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers, like the reports are true, and the Lakers are really refusing to trade him. Again, I hope not. 2 games, 1 fake D'Lo game for everyone to be back on board. I'm crying. Took 2 games and 1 fake D'Lo game for everyone to be back on board. I'm crying. Let's see. Lakers have to trade Reaves, D'Lo, Rui if they want to get better. Reaves is overhyped. Yeah, again, if the right trade's there, you can find something, then do it. This team is bad, very bad. Yes, I'm right there with you. They have been very bad. People were trying to tell me we don't need to trade anymore. I don't know how people watch these games. Even the games we win, I don't know how people watch those games and are like, yeah, Lakers are fine. AR, D'Lo, Gabe, Rui for Levine, and Caruso. I am totally okay with that. I'd want to get Andre Drummond in that deal also, though. Lakers need someone to bite the bullet and make crossroads deal, right? Get out there, make it happen. Everyone was non-existent at EFX. Add AR to the trading block. Yeah. Again, if the right deal is there, make it happen. A trade is a necessity. We have a G League All-Star as depth EFX. As Solution, it said. I will take Austin over D'Lo if Austin is allowed to be himself. He is not a playmaker. He is not a point guard. He needs to be a freestyler because He can be trusted to be that. Yeah, I mean, the problem is he's not like he has to work so hard for his offense, right? Like he's not an explosive offensive player that can just go get buckets. So he's too slow of a pace. Like the Lakers don't have any athleticism at the guard position, and it's a clear problem, right? That's why I like the idea of like a Zach LaVine, even a DeJounte Murray. At least gives you some athleticism in the guard position, which that's what the Lakers are trying to find. I thought before the season began, I thought, okay, D'Lo and Reaves shoot well enough to kind of offset that a little bit. Top of that, you got enough athletic wings to kind of offset that. I also thought Vanderbilt would be a better 3-point shooter. Not much, but at least respectable. So a lot's just hasn't happened. Let's see. Mays was great. Any trade they make isn't helping at all. Again, don't be shocked at the impact that a couple guys can do. They're little role players because of fit picks. The lack of passion and inconsistency is pathetic. Seems like we're going through the motions, no heart and effort. Right there with you. Right there with you. It's so sad. All too close wins is enough for people to act like trades aren't necessary yet. If Chicago wants AR for LaVine, there's no question he's got to get. Man, what me off is our players and coaches all smiling and getting blown. Yeah, man, seriously, it's like, where's the frustration, right? Like Darvin Ham's over there laughing, LeBron and AD are over there giggling. It's like, come on, man, you guys are getting them like you're 5-11 in your last 16 games. Like, at what point do you just go, all right, like something needs to change? No, bro, Austin is untouchable. We can't. He's most certainly not untouchable. Austin Reaves has been terrible. Let's see. Gabe, D'Lo, AR, Rui for LaVine and Cruz. So I am totally with that. Skyler Mays in the rotation. I'm okay with it. I hope he does. Right? You brought him in for a reason. Let him get some work. There is no trade that could save this team by Lakers' chances. I don't underestimate. People said the same thing last season. Tyler, do you think Lakers should go after Klay Thompson if he's available at the trade deadline? No. Now, if he gets traded and bought out, sure. But no, the trade for him, no. Stay away from Klay Thompson. He hasn't been the same guy. Look, I like Klay a lot, but I don't think he's the answer. It's time to trade them all. Yeah, basically, I'm totally okay with it. Bottom three in offense, while LeBron and AD are having career highs, is just absurd. Yeah, facts. D'Lo and Austin Reaves are tradable at this point. His team went from the Western Conference, by the way. What about the chemistry? What chemistry? Chemistry usually matters when you're winning games. This team doesn't look like a team that has chemistry, right? Like, what chemistry? Like, no one's ever seems to be on the same page. Nobody's showing energy and effort. Like, chemistry matters when you're good, right? Like, chemistry matters when you're the 2020 Lakers. Chemistry doesn't matter when you're when you're a game under 500, 40 games in. Yep, why are the Lakers trying to build around a 39-year-old? Because LeBron James is still fantastic. LeBron James is still a top 10 player. Love to golf, bro, winning the chip. The energy did not seem like it was there tonight. Not at all. Not at all. They just looked like a team that didn't even want to play tonight. Have the chemistry. It ain't nothing getting Atlanta Skyler on the phone. Yeah. Again, chemistry. What chemistry? There is no chemistry. There isn't. There's no chemistry. This team is terrible. Right? Like, why are we worried about chemistry? Chemistry is the last thing we should be worried about. Let's see. How could this team get any better if they don't practice? Yeah, practices are important. That's very true. Talk about building chemistry. Be getting destroyed and nobody talks about that, though. Yeah, look, I've talked about it a lot. Team is just unserious. I could see it a mile away. We are playing real teams on opening nights. We just need to do some trades to upgrades. Not okay with how we are playing. I'm right there with you. I like Austin, but it's his time to go now. He gets targeted all game. Exactly. I love him too, but you got to go. Got to go, man. I'll keep D'Lo over AR, but the Lakers won't see what we see. Yeah, look, they're gonna trade AR. I have no doubts about them trading AR. But again, I think you trade whoever you have to. Not gonna lie, Palinka will pay. We had KCP and Caruso both on this team, and now we twerk it for Royce O'Neal. Again, that wasn't Palinka's doing. That was LeBron James and Anthony Davis going to Genie and saying, "Make this happen." Rob Palinka had other deals done. Don't lose Austin just for a trade. That ain't gonna help us fully championship. Yeah, again, like I'm not saying like trade him just to trade him. I'm not saying you just unload him just to unload him. But I do think if the right move is there, you do it. He should not be untouchable. That we should put the lineup that got us to act. I'm assuming you mean Western Conference Finals. Yeah, we still haven't done that. 100% agree. There we go. Yeah, that's used in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah. Problem is that, like, again, AR hasn't played like he did then. D'Lo, my problem with D'Lo is I don't know how to judge D'Lo because he's playing a role that he shouldn't be playing, and he's gotten so much inconsistency this season. Right? Like from which I get, like the idea was to trade him from the beginning. So I don't know, but it's just I don't know. I don't know. Like when D'Lo is getting 17 minutes one game and starting the next, and then playing and not starting and then getting 30 minutes. And just how do you get any type of flow or rhythm when you don't get when you're not playing the role you're supposed to be playing and it's constantly inconsistent? Were playing with us last game. Now they felt pity and gave us the win. Sorry, yeah. Hamstain, sadly, they said his job is safe, which I've been saying forever. I said I don't believe the reports. I made an entire video talking about how I didn't believe the reports that he was leaving. They're not going to fire him this season. They're just not. It doesn't make any sense to fire him this season. I'm not saying he shouldn't go, but it's just you're not firing him this year. Andrew, Levine would get the easiest looks of his career. Zach and AD pick and roll. How do you see the looks Austin, Max, and Prince get or could get all in on Levine? Yeah, I mean, the opportunities that he would get playing alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis would be ridiculous. I mean, again, it would be 100% the best looks he has gotten for his career. It would be the best opportunity he has had in his career. And he'd get to play because he'd be able to play the role that he is best at, which is just score the basketball. Give him the green light, right? There is not a shot that you don't like. That's what I would tell him. Like literally, you have the ball, shoot the shot, right? There is not a shot out. I don't care if there's 4 guys on you. That means Anthony Davis is probably waiting by himself for the rebound. You just make him a scorer. Obviously, I'm over-exaggerating a little bit, but you get my point. Like, you give him the green light, you let him go to work, right? You run sets with him off the ball, and you basically run him like you do with Reaves, right? Where Reaves gets his opportunity to shine and just go get buckets, right? He gets to play some time on the ball, gets to play some time off the ball, he gets to make decisions sometimes. You put Levine in that role. That he's going to get you 25 a game, easy, right? Like he will, because he's going to get so many wide open looks. He's going to get so many minutes where LeBron isn't out there. He's going to constantly have AD or LeBron on the court with him at some point. Like, because I mean, again, that's usually how it goes with Austin Reaves, right? And you could even have moments where like you rest LeBron and AD together, right? Like Darvin Ham has tried to do that a couple times, and which all teams do. All teams have rested both their stars at the same time. But Austin Reaves and the other guys just haven't been good enough to do that. Well, if you have Zach LaVine, you could be like, hey, we're going to rest LeBron and AD for like the next 5 minutes to close this quarter. Go give me 20. Like, and I believe he would, like I do. I think personally, you got to go get LaVine. I do. I'm still team LaVine. The right now ain't working. It is definitely not. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're enjoying the roller coaster ride that is the Lakers regular season. Yeah, facts. Like Bluckett said, if you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You people are beautiful. Christian Wood owns KD. Yeah, he was great. Unfortunately, he had a migraine, so he didn't play. Keep winning Prince and AR and Max. Like I said, I don't think anyone should be untradeable. No one's been good enough to be untradeable. The only guys that I would want to keep is Christian Wood, Cam Reddish, and Taurean Prince. Only because Taurean Prince has been our best shooter all season. But beyond that, I just don't think you'll get value for them. Right? Like Cam Reddish and Christian Wood are both on vet minimums. Right? So you're never going to get value for them. Now, obviously, if you do some like grand trade and you need them for salary filler, then sure. But I just don't see a trade where you're gonna have to trade those guys. Those are the only guys that I think, and again, they're not untouchable. I just think if you keep those, like if I keep 3 guys on this roster, not named LeBron James and Anthony Davis, those are the 3. Golden State might blow it up too. Yeah, they should. Golden State has been terrible. But there's nobody on Golden State other than Steph that I think would help the Lakers. How did AR have more All-Star votes than D-Book? Booker to show the Laker fans. Well, I mean, yeah, it's the Laker fans is what it was. Why don't you work for the Lakers? I don't know. Because they haven't called me yet. Maybe one day. Maybe when I get big enough, they'll call me and let me help. That would be nice. I would love to work for the Lakers, believe me. Lakers, if you're watching, sign me up. This game shows exactly why our Lakers need a natural scorer because we don't have anybody that can be a legit 3-level scorer. See, the Suns have 2 natural scorers in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. I mean, and Bradley Beal, too. Bradley Beal gives you that guy, and he was torching us. Exactly. They don't have that guy. They don't have over-the-top shooting. They don't have that blow-by guy. They don't have the guy that could just go get a bucket. LeBronto. Hey, as Dance, I have a question. Why do you think Denver celebrated and absolutely dogged on us when they swept us? I mean, past history shows we've completely owned them. But what did the Lakers do to them? I just think it's just, the history. Little brother finally beat big brother. And, they just got a little big ego. But it wasn't even the players. It was Mike Malone. Mike Malone was the only one that was really doing heavy talking. And then the owner at the parade. But outside of that, it was like, you didn't hear, like, all the players stuck up for the Lakers. Like, I mean, even Bruce Brown was like praising the Lakers and was like, man, they gave us the toughest matchup. Even in the offseason, they were talking about how the Lakers were their toughest opponent. Right? It was just Mike Malone, for whatever reason, needed attention. Right? It's just, again, it's just sad because it's the highlight of his life. And, he just got carried away. He wanted to stay relevant. Right? Because, look, Denver won the championship and no one cared. No one. Right? They were immediately back to the Lakers. Andrew, coming out the $5 super chat. LaVine is a Booker and Beal bucket. He can take over games like they did tonight, and you don't have the right now. We need a bruiser in Bron and a big in a D. Yes, I'm with you. I genuinely believe Lakers need to go get a guy like Zach LaVine. I really do, because I just think he's a guy that you can count on to just go get buckets. He can go toe to toe with the best of them. Right? He's a guy that can just be a monster on that end. Right? He's a guy that can produce game in and game out, night in and night out. You need those guys. You need a guy like that. Lakers just don't have anybody. And look, LeBron James and Anthony Davis aren't like these gifted natural scorers. Right? I've talked about it. If the Lakers traded for Zach LaVine, he would be our best natural scorer. Right? That doesn't mean that he's better than LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It's just he's elite at the thing that he is best at, being a 3-level scorer. right? LeBron, when his shot is falling, he's up there, right? When he's cooking, right, his three balls falling, and he's like 6 of 8 from three, and his mid range is knocking down, and he's doing that. Like don't get me wrong, he can be up there, but he 99.99% of the time is just put my head down, get to the basket, and draw contact, get an and one, or finish at the rim, or get out in transition, or whatever. That's LeBron's game. Right? He's not some guy, let me shoot over the top of the defender, let me cross this dude up and just, step back, pull up three. Right? Even AD's shot's been much better falling this year, but even him is kind of more face off, boom, pull up, splash, right? Where LaVine, I mean, he can just do so much on the basketball court, scoring the basketball. So I'm with it. Just tech the Lakers guard by any means necessary. Yeah. I mean, when you have Austin Reaves playing as bad as he has, let's see. I wish Lakers would have just did the Pacers trade. They would not be in this position. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked it. Miles Turner, Buddy Hield. Problem is, Austin Reaves would still be playing the way he's playing, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he'd be better, but how much better? And do they work as well as you would think, right? You never know. Again, this team was just in the conference finals, and they've been terrible. One of the worst teams in the league. You never really know until things actually work on paper. Max Christie is able to give you 20 every game. I'll say keep D'Lo, trade AR. Yeah. Again, you don't just trade guys, just trade them. But if it's there, then you do it. The boy Reaves needs to go right now. Get Caruso. I would absolutely trade Reaves for Caruso. Let's see. We need more defenders. We have too many playmakers. Who are our playmakers? We have D'Lo and LeBron. That's it. Reaves, again, Reaves isn't a playmaker. He can find the open man. He can hit the occasional cutter, but he's not a playmaker. Let's see. A big three with Zach would be the least redundant and most synergized big three in the league. All three are uniquely elite at what they do. It would be incredible. Look, I'm right there with you. They genuinely do. They all would complement each other beautifully because they all get to play their role. LeBron would get to be the Swiss Army knife guy that can just basically do everything. He'll go get you his 25 or whatever. You'd have Anthony Davis still being Anthony Davis on both sides of the basketball. Nothing's going to change for AD. LeBron also likes to let everyone else and just kind of chip in throughout the game. So that's not going to get. So it's people are like, oh, well, LaVine, how will LaVine get his shot attempts? How will he get that? LeBron has no problem letting people get some shine. I mean, every game, what does he do? Tries to get Reaves going, tries to get this guy going, try to get that guy going, try to get that guy going. And then he'll just, chip in 4 points here, 6 points here, hit a three here, hit it. It's just he just pieces together points throughout the game. And then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, LeBron has 25? Right? It's usually how it goes. I mean, how many times have you seen, through at halftime, LeBron has 4 and he finishes the game with 25? It's yeah. Zach LaVine's going to be able to get to be – Zach LaVine will get to be more Zach LaVine than he is on Chicago because there won't be anyone else clashing with him. Literally, the one thing that he is best at is exactly what the Lakers need. Exactly what the Lakers need. So, go get Zach LaVine. I agree with you. The synergy would be chef kiss. Let's see. I just don't get how Pelinka looked at the possible future core. He did it. Again, he was planning on keeping everybody. He was trading Kuzma for Buddy Hield and was trying to free up space to go get DeMar DeRozan. The plan was he was going to keep Caruso, or he wanted to keep Caruso. He wanted to keep KCP. He wanted to keep basically everybody. He was just trying to go get Buddy Hield. He was trying to go get that. The Caruso thing, they still might have let go of Caruso because his was more like they didn't want to pay him. But they very likely may have kept him. Austin plus Caruso backcourt would hit like not the way Reaves is playing right now. Teams would still target him. The Lakers' big third stream was Cookie Phoenix big three. Yeah, man, they were because they were playing with some energy and effort. Let's see. What's going on, Daniel? Suns are going through the same thing, low key. I have no faith in the Phoenix Suns. I don't. Whoops, didn't mean that. Braun, 80, and Ham laughing on the bench while a blowout trade is definitely incoming. Yeah, I that was these bums are all getting traded. Oh, hang on. That's not working. I'll do that in a minute. Don't know what our starting lineup is. Crazy FX. Lakers have no real sense of, but the problem is like no one's been good. It's like usually you know who your best 5 players are. Like who are your best 5 players this season? What's good, bro? And I heard the Lakers interested in Terry Rozier. Is that true? Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that they're. Again, I'm not like an insider or anything like that. I'm just a fan. But yes, I've seen the various reports that they're interested in Terry Rozier, DeJounte Murray, Zach LaVine, basically any like good guard is who they're interested in. So I am all for Terry Rozier. Like that wouldn't be a terrible option. You know, you can make that work. Again, cost is everything. But yeah, supposedly the Lakers are, again, you never really know what's true until it actually happens. But yes, supposedly the Lakers are interested in Terry Rozier. Should go back to the bench. 4 games, he ain't give us 20. I talked about it. Even when the Lakers wanted to move him back in the starting unit and everyone was screaming it, I said keep him on the bench. We would be running through teams with LaVine and no Reaves, and if we had Caruso and Drummond, we on the league. Yes, I'm right there with you. Right there with you. Sign Biombo. I wouldn't hate bringing him in on a 10-day. Talked about that. Bring him in on a 10-day. Let him get some run. In-season tournament, Lakers is better than any TFX. 100%. Reeves signed a not Supermax bag, and he don't look like, yeah, that's the problem. He didn't get enough money. He was like, I'm not getting paid enough to be good. Bro, I'm sorry, man, but we have to discontinue these statement jerseys every game. How we play with them, we get embarrassed. Yeah, I feel it. Let's see. I don't like the Atlanta trade at all. It's not my favorite trade, personally. Like I said, I mean, if you can get Murray, Clint Capella, and like Bogdanovich or Hunter, like I don't hate that because like literally you could just have all 3 of those guys start and they'd be upgrades at the 5. All right, all 5, like you're starting 5. Again, it's not my favorite, but I wouldn't hate it. Like if that was like if you told me tomorrow the Lakers traded for DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella, and Bogdanovich or Hunter or even like Sadiq Bey, I'd be like, cool. We were missing Christian Wood tonight. Yes, that was the difference. We needed Christian Wood. We are a rebuilding team today. Matched his offer, man. Yeah. LaVine better than Murray. I agree. I'd rather have. I think LaVine is the better option over Murray too. I am right there with you. LaVine is a better player and fit than Murray. I agree. LaVine is a diva and doesn't play defense. These casuals are something else. He is. What makes you think he's a diva? Like, what inclination has ever given you that he's a diva? Doesn't play defense. He's been better defensively than like 90% of the Lakers roster. As bad as he doesn't play defense, he's had excellent defensive years. He's been better than league average for his career. He's also an elite scorer, right? I wouldn't mind Dorian Finney-Smith. It was overall effort from the team. The Lakers need someone else other than Vando to start playing with hustle. Last year, the team had winning it. I mean, we just need the team as a whole to play with some effort. But, we should look to trade the whole team, starting with LeBron. We need picks. I want to be like the Oklahoma City Thunder. Trade them all. Yeah, at this point, trade everybody. Get rid of everybody. No one should be safe on this roster. No one. Let's see. Yeah, I don't mind. I like the idea of bringing him in on a 10-day. Bring him in on a 10-day, see how he looks, and figure it out from there. It's just athletic tall and let him in the league. Like I said, he would be good as a development pick, which was the idea, but we didn't get anyone else. Ham comment: why in the world Reaves in the starting five again? I don't know. I think he should just come off the bench. I mean, I think it's just everyone was screaming for him to be in the starting five again, and I think he just listened. I think I was one of the few people screaming, no, keep him on the bench. Because, again, he gives you the same production regardless. Same production. No matter what, whether he starts or comes off the bench. Reaves trash. Why you want to keep him for? Look at the game tonight. Some got him junk on the field. Yeah, my bad. At least the Lakers have the tiebreaker. Yeah, that's very true. Oh, that was somebody else. that was me. That was a question for me. Might be good in the roster, yeah. But like I said, there's nobody I really think impacts the Lakers other than Steph. Let's see. I hate this team. I hope this team misses. But I mean, at the rate they're going, they will. D'Lo is the only player besides Bron that can pass to 80. Yeah. Dude, again, one of the best plays in all of basketball is the D'Lo to 80 pick and roll. Jared Vanderbilt is the guy from last season. I mean, he's getting back there defensively. I mean, he was never good offensively, but he's getting back there. It's taken him a while to get back from injury, which, I mean, he missed the whole season. And I said it'd probably take him 10 games. How many games has he played this year? Has it been 10 games? What's going on, Wayne? It could be worse, my Warriors. Yeah. What's going on, Wayne? Appreciate you being here. Let's see. We might as well get Curry. I would love Curry, but that ain't happening. As much as I love Curry. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Chicago is not trading Drummond. Why do you think that? What gives you any inclination of that? He barely played the last few games. How do you know the Bulls will give up Drummond and AC? Because it's part of trades, right? We want these guys. What do you want? Okay, we want these guys, and then you figure it out and you find the middle ground. Look, I've said I don't think that they trade AC, but Drummond, I doubt Drummond will be the difference. If Drummond is holding up the deal, Chicago will say, "Fine, just take him." Right? If that's the missing piece. Drummond has been good for them, but he's not that's the difference. If they really want to get the trade done, Alex Caruso, on the other hand, yes. Look, I've said it countless times. I don't think they trade Alex Caruso, but if they get Austin Reaves, they might, or even a 3-team deal, where maybe they get some other pieces that they like. Season's over. Trade Bron, AD, greener pastures. Said the same thing last season, and the Lakers made some trades, and then all of a sudden, guess what? They were in the conference finals. So it's not over till it's over. This Suns is going to be great when healthy. Katie Booker. I still am not super sold on them. They're too reliant on as a jump shooting team. Those never win championships unless you're the Warriors. But they had Steph, Clay, and everything like that. Almost 6,000 subs. Sports started. Yeah, what's the way? Yeah, you're watching on the AIS Lakers show, streaming on both of them. I appreciate you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm almost 6,000, which is nice. Nice. Getting there. Climbing on them both. Climbing on them both. Why do we want DeJounte so bad? Just athletic guard is really what it is. The Lakers just want athleticism at the guard position, which they desperately need. So, why would the Bulls want Vincent? He's hurt, and they have enough guards. I mean, you don't have to trade Vincent. You can get there other ways. But what would you rather have? Would you rather have $40 million in salary for the next 4 years, or would you rather have $11 million in salary for the next 3 years? Also, Vincent healthy. There's many playoff teams that'd be interested in him, so you could probably flip him later on down the road. Secondly, Chicago wants to see what they look like post-trade, and Gabe Vincent could be a solid piece on the bench, especially if you get to the postseason. And if the Lakers end up doing, or not the Lakers, if Chicago ends up like retooling and letting DeMar go and all that stuff, well, then all of a sudden Gabe Vincent might be really good, right? There's questions about Lonzo Ball, all that stuff. There's several reasons why they would be interested in it. We're not getting Levine. Stop dreaming. Maybe. Time will tell. We will see. We will see. Lakers are going to get somebody. He doesn't fix the problem significantly. I'm not super high on Murray. Again, it can't be just Murray. It has to be Murray and other things. If you get Murray and, depending on what that and is, then I think it can make sense. I mean, I honestly trust Rob to get it right. Deal done this year. He did last year. Yeah, I have full 110% belief in Rob Pelinka. Every time he's needed to right the ship, he is right at the ship. Rob better start cooking soon. We probably won't even make it by the deadline. Yeah. Problem is that we can't do anything for another 4 days. So hopefully, I mean, it'd be nice if something got done immediately, but time will tell. D'Lo led a team to the playoffs. People forget that. Yeah, very true. And he was the number one option, number one scorer. He was an all-star. A lot of things. Don't underestimate the power of Pelinka making a trade that turns the season around. Exactly. At this point, I'll take Zach. At least he plays with heart and effort. Yep. Would embarrass these teams every night. Zach and AD pick and roll torch. If they have LeBron sit and AD, Zach, AR, and Wood cook, they might legit be better. No cap. AR is done. He very well might be. Cam and Prince aren't starters on all the other 29 NBA teams. I don't know about all of the 29 NBA teams, but yeah, they've been rough. Prince has been shooting the ball excellent this year. Excellent. He might start on many teams if he's shooting the way that he's shooting, but he's also shooting the best of his career. Doing better than AR. Hand the keys over to AD. I mean, he already has. AD's been our best player all year. I'd rather keep Reaves over D'Lo. I wouldn't. Not right now. Not the way the two are playing. But we'll see. Time will tell. Reaves had his Linsanity run. Time to get back. The Caruso. Yep, I'm with it. It's the best boy card changed my mind. He very well might be. Man, Lakers should hire you as an assistant. I will take that job handedly. Let me turn the Lakers season around. Give me this roster. I'm telling you, give me this roster. I could win more games than we are right now. Bruce Brown said Minnesota was their toughest matchup. He said in an interview that the Lakers gave them the toughest. That they were the toughest opponent. Let's see. Lakers need to just move aside from the new Kings of LA. Relax. You got to go get Levine. I am right there with you. Lakers need to sign some veterans. Lakers need to stack the bench more. Problem is on paper their bench does look stacked. They just aren't. No one's playing well. let's see. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Can a coach be traded? Technically, yes. Or not technically. I mean, they can, yes. Suns got too many free throws in the fourth. Should be single digits, even you're facing the Lakers. Let's see. Has LeBron quit on the franchise? No. Makes you think that. How about a Charlotte trade? Look, I talked about Charlotte trade. I don't hate the idea of it. That very trade was what I made a video about. Scary Terry, Miles Bridges, Nick Richardson. Either of them would be good. I don't hate that. Like if that's like worst case scenario, I would be all for that. Let's see. Why is Bismack even available? Wasn't he just on the Grizzlies? Yeah, he was really good on the Grizzlies. But when Jean Morant went down, and then now Marcus Smart is out for 6 weeks. One, they let Bismack go, get released, so hopefully he could go be on a winning team. But also, at that point, they're just trying to find guys long term and test out young guys. They basically have packed the season. They've said, we're not doing anything this year. Season's over. Let's get the best pick we can. And now they're just signing a bunch of young guys. And they're going to cycle through a bunch of like G League guys and stuff and see who's good. They're lining up scoring Reaves, 15 points a night just isn't worth it. I'm with you. I'm right there with you. Trade Reaves and Caruso for Caruso straight up. I wouldn't hate that. Might need to switch channels to as it stands Clippers for the season. We just need the Clippers so we can aim. Yeah. That'll never happen, Blacko. Never. Prince is our third. He's been our third most consistent player, that's for sure. Like you can count on that guy pretty much every night to give you like 3 to 4 threes. Let's see. Nobody talk about bringing back Winion. I'll be back when we make a playoff run and be there. Hey, look, I 100% believe the Lakers still will. Look, I said what 2 live streams ago that when the Lakers were on their losing streak, get the Lakers in the playoffs, and I'll take it. Take my chances. Look, you give me a healthy LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the playoffs, you have a chance. No one would be surprised if the Lakers won a championship. Tyler going to buy a fake beard and start a Clipper channel to hide his identity. I'm just gonna have you start the Clipper channel. I'll just tell you what to say and tell you how to relay it, and then you could be the face of the Clipper channel, Buck. But anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. I appreciate all of you. I got a lot I want to talk about tomorrow. So stay tuned. Make several videos on both the Laker channels. But in the meantime, hit that like button on your way out. Hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Seriously, I do appreciate it. Hopefully we turn it around at some point. Hopefully a trade's on the horizon here. Everyone that gave me super chats, I do appreciate it. Seriously, helps me out, helps out the channel, helps, just growth and everything. But you guys are awesome. I do appreciate you. And I will see you all. When's the next game? What's today? Thursday? See you guys Saturday? Yeah, see you guys Saturday. Peace.